ASU. We are here with Mr. Gregory Cole, who is a candidate for our SGA president. Well, would you just like to introduce yourself for me?
Well, like he said, my name is Gregory Cole, a junior marketing major here at Alabama State from Montgomery, Alabama.
Well, that's just wonderful. You're from here, you go to school here, and now you are in a position to where you want to serve our students. Before we can start with your interview, we're just going to ask you, we're going to get fun with this interview, okay? We're just going to ask you a few trivia questions about the university, just to see, because, if you're going to lead, a school or university, you should at least know something about it. Okay, so we're going to come on with the questions. Here we go. When, as in what year, was Alabama State founded?
1867.
Okay. Where was Alabama State University founded?
Marion, Alabama. Duh.
And by who?
The Marion Nine. Duh.
Okay. Do you know any of the first 6 presidents of the university?
The first 6? Whew. Lord. I know one.
Okay.
One is Levi Watkins.
Yes, Dr. Levi Watkins is our 6th president, and it's also the name of our library.
Right.
So let's go ahead and dive into these questions. What inspired you to run for such a prestigious position as SGA president?
Well, coming out of high school, I was the president of my student council, which was like a high school edition of SGA.
Okay.
During that time, I experienced how I had a great impact on my student body as well as the different organizations on my high school campus. So when I came to Alabama State, I said the first thing that I was going to do was join SGA. So when I got to ASU, it was this organization entitled Street Team.
Okay.
So Street Team is considered the foundation of where I got my start. So I used Street Team as a platform to advance myself as I matriculated through ASU, and it just so happened that the president at the time, Sherrod Campbell, took me under his wing and molded me, and he put into me the inspiration to run for an office such as this. And so as I continued my journey up until this point, I worked under Darren DeBose, and I also assisted Jeremy Crum at certain times. So I consider SGA in my heart. Like it's been something that I wanted to do since I stepped foot here on ASU's campus.
And being that I've been here for a minute, I've seen the growth and I've seen you do a lot of things. Do you want to expound on other organizations you're a part of or other experiences you've had with SGA that kind of just molded you into who you are?
Well, definitely. As you see, I have this pen on.
Okay.
It's Collegiate 100. It's a mentoring group here on campus. I'm the secretary for that organization. As far as SGA is concerned, I've been the co-chair of the events committee. My committee was the first committee to introduce Midnight Yells to the yard.
Okay.
I was also a part of the Senate. I went to CLEG, which was the first year that Alabama State was represented, and we was the largest delegation that was present at that time. I also became the vice president of Street Team my freshman year, and we brought back the huge excitement about Street Team, and we started the trend of having like different events on the yard as far as convocation and different campus events is concerned like that. So I've been around the way with SGA. So, yeah.
Now let's dive into your platform. If you can you just explain what your platform means? I know that you have a lot of different let's say, I'm not gonna say slogans, but different ideas, students with attitude, the awakening. Would you just explain what that means?
Well, I wanted to, as I ran for SGA president, I wanted to portray a well-rounded individual because I understand that being the SGA president, you have to learn to appeal to different communities within the campus. So I want to preach empowerment in 3 phases. I want to empower SGA, I want to empower the student body, and I want to empower education. Empower SGA. With that, I wanted to address traditions, access transformation, activate the awakening. I noticed that SGA have a lot of traditions that we hold that are not necessarily as effective as they were when they were being ran. But one being SGA Street Team. SGA Street Team is a great organization that could be really utilized in SGA. I feel that a lot of students are afraid away from the idea of street team because they don't stroll, they don't dance, they don't sing. I want to take that organization, innovate it to make it fit a more diverse community on this campus yard, and make more students want to join and create a different atmosphere with it as far as empowering SGA is concerned, which will provide an awakening to students on the yard, because a lot of students feel like SGA isn't a place for them, being that they're not on street team or they're not a senator or so on and so forth. But one thing that students forget, that SGA is for the yard.
Right. Everybody's a part of SGA.
Right. Everybody's a part of the SGA, whether you voluntary or not. So that's one thing I want to bring back, and empowering the student body with my capital campaign, SWA, Students with Attitude. It's a lot of people take it on as a negative connotation, but it's not about negative attitudes. It's about taking those negative attitudes and those negative opinions and nurturing them to create a more positive attitude towards ASU, and not necessarily just ASU, but the community in which they live in. And I want to also empower students to chase after that power of their voice, because a lot of students have forgotten that your voice is powerful.
Right.
And I want to remind them of how powerful their voice is, along with empowering education. I know being at ASU, we think it's about a lituation, but one thing that we forget, this is an institution of higher learning.
Right.
And the main purpose for us being on this yard is to get a quality education. Being that a lot of students aren't as enthusiastic about their major or the class they are taking, their mind automatically goes to a lituation, or their mind automatically goes to the events. We're not having events. We're not, it's not live. The yard is not live. But one thing that I find out, if you're excited about the things that you're going to school about, all the other stuff will follow.
Right.
The rest will create itself. So I want to work with the departments and the different colleges around campus to create more enthusiastic courses. That means introducing new courses to students who may think the curriculum is a little dry.
Yeah.
So bring about a new, different feel to the department that they're in, and also encourage competitions within the faculty to tweak their talent as teachers, because teachers are doing more talking, more or less teaching.
Yeah.
So I want to encourage the faculty to tap into their inner ability to educate these students, to get us enthused about education, so that the yard will become educational savvy, and we'll just be excited about college.
Right.
So I want to empower the students with SWA, empower the faculty to promote education, and also empower SGA so to be more diverse and fit into the student body.
Well, that's definitely something we need on campus right now, being that there's a lot of talk about how the campus has been dry or dead and things like that. Do you have any upcoming events or anything that students should be aware of before the elections come about?
Yes, I have 2 events coming up. I don't really want to put them out there just yet, because I want to keep them a surprise. But yeah, I have 2 major events coming up. I didn't want to, do all the small events, because running for office is very costly. So I wanted to do 2 large events for the student body to show them that I am capable of throwing events. Okay. But yeah, 2 events.
Okay, so you guys be on the lookout for those events when they do come out. Okay. I would like to know what sets you apart from the other candidates that are running for the SGA position.
My relatability. I consider myself a very relatable person. I feel like I can touch many people in different directions. And I also understand that I'm very sensitive to different people's beliefs and things of that nature. I think that sometimes the other candidates forget that in order to serve the student body, you have to learn how to be diverse. So I think that I have a very diverse characteristic trait within my personality.
All right.
So yeah.
Well, I would like to say thank you, and I wish you the best of luck with campaigning as elections come about. And on April 11th, do not forget to vote Cole at the polls.
That's right.
And see you later.
One time, you just need a real one. One time, you just need a real one. Hey, Hershey in between dudes.